If it seems as though your cat is always bouncing from one thing to another, quite literally and figuratively, then you're certainly not alone as a feline owner. Thanks to your pet's very own special and unique personality, your cat's living environment, the home environment, and those hardwired instincts, it could be said that felines are meant to be distracted. But where is your limit of tolerance, that line in the sand where you just can't take your cat not paying attention? In this material, we'll talk about why cats are so easily distracted, those instincts, what they hear, what they see, what they smell, that critical need for mental and physical stimulation, and that all-important unique personality coupled with general health and wellness. Not every distraction is a fun distraction, and we'll touch on that important aspect of this subject. Interesting topic and hopefully a helpful one. Try not to get too distracted and join me for this important video. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Before we can fully understand why felines often get distracted, it's important to understand how cats are wired with respect to an attention standpoint. In short, cats are at least marginally distracted because they have to be. They can't bank on many of the luxuries that we do or the luxuries that we have. Whether we're talking true instincts or personality, felines know that trust is at a minimum. How they trust, who they trust, it's in short supply, and trusting too many and trusting too much could have dire consequences. Cats have to be on guard when it comes to many things. Let's first talk about those feline instincts. Cats living off the land from birth, cats are hardwired to have a very strong attention to detail and be keen to all of their surroundings. This is why cats, especially if you see a feral cat, their attention will somewhat seem to dart from one thing to the next, every little movement, every little sound. They're hardwired to pay attention, anything that moves, and they're on it. This instinctual nature not only will help a cat hunt and achieve success stalking and capturing, but it will always keep a feline on guard with respect to predators. If a cat is keen to every detail, then they'll be keen to threats. At least, that's the objective. If you are a regular here at Senior Cat Wellness, you know that I've spoken about curiosity more than several times. Cats are curious creatures. That sounds like something that I would have said, and it's very much true. Cats are curious, and this curiosity adds yet another layer to this current topic. Let's take your cat, your loving house cat. Unless your pet is well up in those years, in those golden years, that senior status, they're likely quite curious. Probably about most anything and everything, especially those new things. Audience, back me up on this one. If you were to go out tomorrow and buy a new table or even a new flower pot, let's say, it doesn't have to be anything major, but tell me what will likely happen. Your cat will be anxious to check out this new item, yes? Possibly walking through the house until bam! Hey, what's this? Your pet will likely go over and check it out, smell it, potentially stalk it a bit, depending on what it is or what they think it is. But the story here is that your cat, that curious cat, will check it out. Let's be honest, more times than not, depending on what it is, they'll likely spend more time on it than it deserves. This is yet another aspect of the topic of distraction. It doesn't take too much to throw most cats for a loop because they're designed for such. They just have to check things out. They have to investigate. In the home setting, what your cat is probably attempting to do is decide whether that flower pot is indeed friend or foe. They have to make sure that their comfortable home environment hasn't been tampered with in any way, a negative way. That curiosity, something new, visibly new, that's worthy of attention. But what about hearing alone? That feral cat or even the cat right there on your sofa? Why are cats so distracted by things that they hear but just can't see? One of the reasons is that felines hear better than we do, far better. Sounds that we dismiss or wouldn't even hear at all could have your pet's full and undivided attention. Additionally, and this goes back to that hard wiring and the need to investigate, most cats can't just leave a sound or noise alone. Unless it's something they know, something they've heard for years, your ice maker, for example. Anything new deserves attention. It's a lot like that new flower pot. Is that sound, is what I'm hearing friend or foe? Is it a threat? So much of feline distraction is all about survival. Whether legitimate or not, cats just can't afford to dismiss certain things. When we talk about health, especially with a younger feline, one of the ways that you can often tell that something is amiss, It's when your cat pretty much stops caring, when they stop being curious, when they stop being distracted. Of course, you can't talk about what your cat hears without talking about what they see. And for this distraction, I'm not speaking on the obvious, something that you can see, for example, something that is quite known. I'm talking about those creepy things in the night, perhaps in your backyard. Your cat can see it all at night. Things that we'd likely struggle to make out at all, your cat has already identified it and is going over there to investigate. And it doesn't have to be the dark. It can be subtle things. This is why the internet is filled with cats chasing that little red dot of a laser pointer. When you couple supreme vision and a grand tendency to be distracted and curious, you have cats doing everything they can to capture that little red dot. Distraction and smell. How much of a factor does your cat's nose play? The answer is a lot. Just like hearing and vision, cats have a much better sniffer than we do. This means they are more keen to aromas in the air for the good or the bad. Cats will get distracted by food, since they don't know. The environment is a treasure box of odors, often enough to keep a cat very much distracted. Now that we've covered what I would consider the basics of distraction in terms of how cats are hardwired and how they maneuver in various environments, let's talk about that human element. Some cats become distracted because the home environment, in terms of interaction and positive stimulation, is very much lacking. This opens the door for a cat to become interested and distracted by things, perhaps things they have no business entertaining. That snag in the carpet, that open space on the bookshelf, some rubber band that was accidentally dropped on the kitchen floor. When healthy and positive engagement is lacking, cats will more or less create their own games. Instead of having entertainment, they will look for ways to create their own. Unfortunately, this often results in negative consequences for you and your pet. Lack of play, either hands-on with your pet or just a simple lack of toys that your cat can manipulate. This form of stimulation, or in this case lack thereof, can also result in a cat looking to create their own games. Games that will most always run contrary to your own guidelines within the home. Before I focus a bit more on the health side of this topic, I do want to talk about your cat's personality. Some cats are just like some people. They're easily distracted. Some cats are simply more curious than others. The good news for you is that over the course of ownership, you will learn your cat's baseline. And with this knowledge, you can create the right environment based on their personality, based on their own unique tendencies. Some things, unfortunately, you just won't be able to change. But you can adapt and adjust, and that is what so much of feline ownership is all about. And being that we are senior cat wellness, some cats do become distracted not because they're still so very active and honestly curious, but because of physical decline. Generally speaking, it's rare for a 20-year-old cat to have the same vigor and curiosity and distraction compared to that of a 2 or 3-year-old feline. Older cats, their distraction can be due to cognitive decline, becoming disoriented and confused in a way that goes beyond natural curiosity and those hardwired instincts. Another form of distraction could be due to physical pain and discomfort. Just like people, it can be hard to think, hard to concentrate, hard to focus, hard to stay alert if you are in great discomfort. If your senior cat is distracted and just can't seem to get comfortable, your pet could be dealing with some degree of discomfort caused by an underlying health concern. As always, if you feel that your cat's distraction, especially if the behavior has been quite sudden, please take your cat to the vet. All cats are curious and keen to detail, easily drawn to other things many times, but if you've noticed that your cat is constantly in a state of distraction, something out of the norm for your pet, it's very important to be proactive. When it comes to positive solutions to sort of reel your cat in a bit, it all starts at home with that cat-friendly and safe environment, a setting filled with positive mental and physical enrichment, and a consistent daily routine. Your cat will be far more likely to stay focused if life is predictable. Us humans, a lot of us like spontaneity, the mystery of that grand adventure. Cats, not so much. Especially in a place they consider a safe haven, a safe shelter. If cats could talk, they'd likely select stability over the daily unknown adventures. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, before I put a bow on this one, what are your thoughts? Anything you'd like to add to the conversation, your personal stories? Anything and everything, that comment section, as always, it is all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.